Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 46 of the Wrestling Rundown, and this right here, this is time for the midweek wrap-up.
And we're going to start every time like we do with main event.
No, we're not, because we had something different added to the midweek wrap-up.
The fuck?
This week. We had King of the Ring.
Oh, yeah.
We had the semifinals and the finals live on the WWE Network.
It was Livy.
So we had Bad News Barrett versus R-Truth, and we had Neville versus Sheamus in our semifinals matches.
They did Neville versus Sheamus first.
Yes. I like the chemistry between Neville and Sheamus.
It was pretty good.
I think Neville himself works really well with everyone on the roster so far. Everyone he's gone against, he's had great matches with, which I'm super excited to see him.
Well, it's because he's fucking Neville.
Yeah. He puts Sheamus over really well, but he does defeat Sheamus, moving on to the finals of King of the Ring when Dolph Ziggler comes out causing a distraction.
Yeah, little interference.
Very much the same way Sheamus did to him the previous night on Raw. Sheamus is looking at him, gives Neville enough time to kind of get his wits about him. He dodges the bro kick, does a little NXT kick to Sheamus, sets up, hits the red arrow, and Neville moves on to the finals. Then we had
go Neville.
Then we had Ziggler and Sheamus get into it, and Sheamus got busted open.
Yeah, Sheamus got busted open and also took off. Like,
he's
like, this guy with ramen hair is mad. I'm out of here.
Then we move on to Barrett versus Truth. Everyone was kind of reiterating what they were going to do, when they become king.
R-Truth is going to build a castle with a moat.
But then he didn't think about water spiders.
Yeah, so he's going to go get rid of all those water spiders first.
And
which apparently Wade Barrett is a water spider.
Barrett talking about how he's gonna prove Truth wrong, and it doesn't matter what he wants to do about spiders. He needs to worry about a bull hammer, and that's exactly what happens. Barrett and Truth have a really good match. Truth has Barrett on the outside. He's trying to bring him back in. Ref can't see it. Barrett rakes the eyes.
Thumb right in his right eye socket.
Yeah, Truth.
Graphic.
Truth kind of does a little feet around. A Watusi?
He does a Watusi.
A Watusi right into a bull hammer, and Bad News Barrett moves on to the finals to face Neville.
Yeah, Barrett gave him a reach around bull hammer and clocked him in the back of the head.
Yeah. I enjoyed this whole tournament. I thought
there's three solid matches.
Well, even the matches on Raw too. I thought all the matches in this tournament were really good. Barrett and Neville in the finals now. Neville looking to prove everybody wrong, that he's not just a small guy who can do flips, that he's going to make an impact now that he's on the roster. And Bad News Barrett obviously being the loudmouth, wanting to prove his dominance. He does.
Either way, there's no chance of having an American champion. King,
This is true. Because, R-Truth was the last chance for America to have an American king. So we
were going in with pretty bad odds, though.
Yeah, that's true. So Neville, unfortunately, comes up a bit short. No pun intended.
Sam doesn't like that joke.
Goes for the red arrow. Barrett's able to dodge.
Just a shooting star press.
Oh, that's true. He didn't really.
He didn't twist.
He didn't twist. He just landed on his feet. Barrett's in the corner. Neville goes for a big avalanche and gets caught with a bull hammer. And we now have King Bad News Barrett.
Oh, hail King Bad News!
I want him to call him King Barrett. King Bad News sounds funny.
It does, really.
King Barrett, please.
Yeah.
Who is now going to rule his kingdom with an iron fist and a bull hammer. Boom.
Why not iron bull hammer? Just say it.
Give it a shot. But now we're going to move on to main event, where we only had 2 matches, which was
King of the Ring. Oh.
You'll get it eventually. You got this. We had the Primetime Players defeat the Ascension. Darren Young beating Victor with the gut check.
Yeah. I think he almost pantsed Victor doing that move.
I don't think I noticed that.
He had grabbed him by the tights to give him the lift off of the shoulders.
Oh, okay.
And I think on the way back down, he was still holding on to the tights, and so there was some slippage on the way down.
Uh-oh.
It was corrected.
We had some Ascension ass. Primetime Players picking up their first televised win in a couple of weeks.
Last time they beat the Ascension?
Yeah. Yay.
Which I think was also on the main event.
Yeah, I think it was. And then in our main event, we had Jack Swagger versus Stardust. This was a really good match.
Swagger got cut up next to his eye.
Yeah. The finish...
Stardust tried to springboard things. Swagger caught him and they fell. I think Swagger was trying to sell off that Stardust hit him in the knee earlier. And then they did some stuff where Swagger was going for an ankle lock and Stardust
grabbed the ring apron.
Yeah, he's grabbing the skirt, and then he grabbed the corner and he pulled Swagger into the corner, which caused Swagger to hit his face, backed up from the corner, and then got the disaster kick.
The match was good. The finish was just fucking weird.
It was a slow finish for a good, quick-paced match.
Alright, that was it for main event. Let's move on to Lucha Underground. We open up with Dario Cueto scolding the crew, telling them, last week I gave you an alley-oop. You know what that is? That's when I give you something easy, something that you can capitalize on. I gave you the most unlikely trio who were already destroyed, and it was 2 guys and 1 woman on 1 leg, and you still couldn't beat them and win the trios titles.
That's true.
So the crew, he's making the crew really prove themselves, and he's showing them, if you screw up again, you have to face my brother, which we find out that's apparently the guy that's been in the cage for however long that we've been watching this.
To clarify, he's not inside Brian Cage.
No, he's in the cage.
He's in a cage,
like
a real cage.
Like a prison cell. But apparently it's Dario's brother. And so Dario's using him, saying, if the crew screws up again, they're going to have to face him. And we just get this hulking shadow that, covers the crew. And it's kind of scary.
Kali.
God, I hope not. I keep trying to think, what other big, what big hulking wrestler are we going to see, come out of this cage when it finally happens?
I don't know that many big wrestlers that could pass as Dario's brother.
We'll have to wait and see.
Kali.
No, stop saying that.
Skin tone's sort of right.
Anyway, our first match was Phoenix versus Killshot. This is Killshot's first singles match since coming on the scene, Lucha Underground. He holds his own against Phoenix pretty well.
Very respectful.
They shake hands at the beginning of the match. A lot of good back and forth action. Phoenix ends up picking up the win with what they're calling the Fire Driver, which is the Rikishi driver from the shoulder position. Really good match to open up Lucha Underground.
A lot of good technical wrestling involved.
Yes,
I appreciate this.
A lot. It was a very spot. Yeah, he was calling matches, calling moves in the match. He was spoiling them for me.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't appreciate that.
I was calling so they knew what to do.
Oh, okay. You were helping them out.
Yeah,
good job. Then we go to the back. Dario talking to Drago, saying, you never thanked me for giving you this opportunity, but after tonight you will. Then he goes around the set of lockers and meets up with Puma, and or to another locker
out of the
room.
bathroom into the locker room.
Yeah, talking to Puma, saying, "Hey, you shouldn't be worried about ending Drago's career. This is for the championship. People only, it's weakness showing that you're worried about ending this man's career. Don't worry about that. Just go into the match." And he starts
being a dick.
And then he starts to walk away, and he's faced with Hernandez. Hernandez thinking that he's being put in a 2-on-1 situation. We have a triple threat match: him versus Carno versus Cage. And Hernandez is expecting, okay, these 2 guys were in a trios match against me 2 weeks or last week. I'm not worried. I'm worried about a 2-on-1 beatdown here. You're trying to eliminate me. And Dario goes, okay, well, what we'll do is we'll make it so they both have something to work for, and it's now a #1 contenders match for the Lucha Underground Championship.
Yeah, so basically saying, here's the way to ensure your safety physically is by giving them a reason to not trust each other.
Yeah. And then...
Well, that's basically him going, please don't hurt me right now, Hernandez.
Please don't toss me over the border. Which...
Ding!
I don't know what that ding was.
Seemed to fit.
Then we had what was supposed to be a fatal four-way between the victims of Pentagon Jr. We had Arhennis.
We called the taped arm crew.
Yeah. We had Arhennis, Vinny Massaro, B-Boy, or Famous B, and Ricky Mandel all getting ready for a four-way match.
Four-way loser gets her arm cut off match.
It starts but never finishes because Tejano comes out and beats the fuck out of all four of them.
Yeah, he got a hot tag from the Invisible Man, came in, clotheslined everybody, even attacked the referee.
Yeah.
And then he calls out the guy who he doesn't know who attacked him last week. Nobody knows who that guy is. I've never seen him before in my life. Davari wasn't bald.
Then we have a situation where I don't know if Dario is like getting ready to leave or something, but he walks out.
He's getting an important phone call.
He walks out of the building. He's on the phone, and a guy in a yellow shirt just happens to be like waiting outside.
Pride.
Runs up and goes, "Hey, Mr. Cueto, I'm Marty the Moth Martinez, and I want to..."
Or Triple M.
Yeah. I really want to, I want to get in the building. I want to get in the show. He goes, "Well, you have to order tickets online." He goes, No. I don't want to watch the show. I want to be on the show."
Yeah, Cuero's like, yeah, no. I mean, I said, the people can come be in the temple if they want, but you look crazy and stupid, so I'm gonna lock you out.
For the record, if you don't know, this is Martin from the last season of Tough Enough. I know that because I've been watching it on the network. And he doesn't look any different except he's got more facial hair.
And a stupid yellow shirt.
So yeah, he wants in Lucha Underground. So we'll have to see what happens there. Then we have our number one contenders triple threat match. This actually does end up being a 2-on-1 beatdown for a little while. Because
most of the match,
Cage and Cuerno just beat the shit out of Hernandez, and then while he's out of the ring, they fight each other for a little while.
Then business picks up when we get the debut of Marty the Moth.
This guy...
Because he runs into the ring, gets right up in the face of all three of them.
Like, I feel like there should have been security to stop Marty from getting in the ring, but there wasn't.
Not Lucha Underground.
He slid in, and then he got fucking booted in the face, and then he ran away.
He got bitch slapped by Hernandez.
Yeah, he did.
Then he got hurled out of the ring, too.
Yeah. Needless to say, it wasn't the most impressive debut.
Yeah, so somehow, even though Dario shut him out of the arena, he still got in.
Yeah. But this...
proves he's tenacious.
But this is a distraction that allows Hernandez to pick up the win, hitting Cuerno with a Dominator after knocking Cage out of the ring. So Hernandez is now number one contender for the Lucha Underground Championship.
Yeah, which is weird because, he's friends with Conan. Conan manages the Lucha Underground champion.
But that's
Prince Puma.
But that's if Puma can beat Drago in our main event.
Yeah.
But before we got to our main event, we had Vampiro interviewing
attempting to interview
the Trios champions. I love that their gimmick is they just can't get along at all, and that's what works.
They put the fun in dysfunction.
It's hysterical. Just a lot of them bickering at each other,
talking over the top of each other.
But they're all in agreement that they may not like each other, but they will fight with each other, and not
fight together.
Fight together to keep the Trios championship.
And then they fight with each other anyways, outside the ring.
I was gonna say that. No, you weren't.
Yeah.
I
like Evil East called herself the captain of the team, and then Son of Havoc's like, no, I'm the captain of the team, and then goes like.
Did you see my crossbody from the platform? I mean, It was a crossbody. No, it was the crossbody.
Yeah, she's like, it's the most basic move in wrestling. No, I think that's a wrist lock, but I could be wrong.
But then we have our main event, Prince Puma defending the Lucha Underground Championship against Drago. If Drago loses, he will be banished from the temple forever. This is a really good match. More respect, shaking hands before the match starts. A lot of back and forth action.
Respectful episode of Lucha Underground.
Yes, it was, except for the Trios champions. Yeah, lots of really great action. All the stuff we've come to expect from Drago and Prince Puma. Really putting everything out on the line here. Unfortunately, the number one contender decides to make his presence known.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to hit Puma.
Yeah.
And Puma got out of the way. And he hit Drago. But Drago went down. And then it looked like Hernandez turned to Puma and was like, "Why did you move, dude?" Before he got out of the ring.
I was supposed to punch you in the face. Why did you move? And then we get Conan just yelling at Puma to, take advantage of the situation, show no mercy. Kind of a dick move.
Yeah, Puma ends up hitting a Michinoku driver.
Yeah.
On Drago and ends up keeping the title and ending Drago's run in the temple.
This is sad because I really like Drago.
Yeah, Drago.
And he had a cool, fiery looking outfit too. It was cool. We get a send off with Drago at the end. He's walking out of the building, meets Dario on the way out, and says, "We will meet again." And Dario just kind of stares at him. He goes through this cooler flaps.
Yeah, that's what they look like.
And then all of a sudden,
type area.
There's just a huge explosion of fire, and we kind of hear the dragon roar, and Drago has officially left Lucha Underground. So we do have a new number one contender. So we're going to start seeing who Conan is going to align himself with. Hopefully, we're going to start seeing some defenses of the Trios championship. Even though Ivelisse has a cast on her ankle, but she says when it's her time to fight, she's going to fight. So lots of cool stuff coming up for Lucha Underground, but we got some even cooler stuff coming up for NXT.
What?
Go ahead and talk about Owens calling out Zayn at the beginning of NXT.
Heck yes. Kevin Owens comes out. They start the show with a little montage of the beef that Owens and Zayn had at the end of last week's episode. Owens comes out and says, hey, guess what? I was doing cool stuff, and I was about to basically kill Alice Riley. And then guess what? Sami Zayn came out and tried to stick his nose into the business of which it doesn't belong into. Yeah, and he's like, so guess what? I'm ready to fight you right now. Come out, Sami Zayn. And instead of Sami Zayn, we got William Regal, or the Willem Dafoe of WWE.
Yes. English Willem Dafoe.
Does it mean does Regal look like he's getting younger?
He really does.
He's a Benjamin Button.
Hey.
I always thought in WCW when he was in WCW, I always thought he looked really old.
Yeah.
But Regal says, hey, guess what? You're not going to use NXT to further your personal agenda. I was like, don't people do that all the time on wrestling?
Yeah, but the authority figures never want them to. They just do it.
Yeah, whatever. It just happens. And, say as Owens was like, guess what? I called out, not you.
So then out comes not William Regal.
Yeah, in the form of Sami Zayn.
Hey.
And Regal's like, don't even get in the ring, Sami. I'm going to make you guys wrestle at TakeOver.
Yes.
For the title.
May 20th, we're getting the next
May
TakeOver.
the 20th.
Woo!
And he's like, for the title, Owens versus Zayn. And Owens is like, whoa.
No.
I didn't say nothing about this title on the line. And then Zayn basically was like, guess what? All the things you said during the contract signing of our first match, I'm going to spit them right back out at you. And Owens is like, alright, it's on. Nobody copies my words but me.
Yeah. I loved Sami just using all the same stuff that Owens. It was great. Then we go to commercial. We come back. We get Cass, Enzo, and Carmella walking in the back.
Well, no, it wasn't a commercial. They were sending it over to our colleague standing by.
Oh, yeah.
This is a continuity error here in this episode of NXT because Greg Hamilton is standing by earlier today. Get your graphics right.
Yeah.
But basically, it was all about Greg Hamilton talking about NXT going on tour again.
Right. Yeah.
Which leads into Enzo, Cass, and Carmella walking into the room. Enzo and Cass are still dissing on Blake and Murphy's gifts.
Yep.
And Carmella's like, you know what? I can handle myself. Whatever. You just go get ready for your match.
Your necklace was curling like a Nature Valley Nutri-Grape bar.
And then like. She sits on the couch by herself, and Blake and Murphy come out of the back room like creepers.
Blake, you gotta get rid of that stupid fucking ponytail.
I don't think he's listening.
He watches our show.
But they kind of hit on her. Not even really hitting on her, but they're
they
like...
just talk shit about Enzo and Cass a little bit more.
Enzo's from wannabe rapper, and Cass is a big, tall, goofy, Rapunzel-looking guy.
And Kamala says, hey, no one makes fun of
Kamala?
No, Carmella says nobody disses my boys except for me.
Yeah,
and so Blake and Murphy get shut out and they go for coffee. Apparently,
yeah. There's a coffee machine not too far away because they're like a little kitchen-looking area.
Yeah,
and then Alexa Bliss comes in and she disses Carmella. She's like, for somebody who calls themselves a queen, shouldn't you hold yourself with a little more class? And Carmella's like, guess what? Face slap.
And then Blake and Murphy show back up.
Yeah.
And
they didn't get very far. They watched.
Yeah.
They were hoping for a cat fight, really.
They just like hopping over that couch. that's their thing.
That's a game backstage at NXT.
Couch hopping?
Couch hopping. Couch hurdles.
Couch hurdles, okay.
They have a track and they just put a bunch of couches up.
Please don't turn Alexa Bliss heel on me.
Too late.
Damn
it just happened.
But then we go to commercial, we come back, Sami Zayn is signing his contract
for
the TakeOver match. He doesn't get too far into his conversation with William Regal before Alex Riley decides to barge in and say, hey, you know, I had Owens, I had him last week, I want to give me another shot, blah, 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 blah. Sami goes, hey.
Well, Regal first is like, slow your roll, boy.
Chill the f*** out.
You lost twice. Go away.
And Sammy's like, hey, I understand, you know, I've dealt with Kevin Owens for the last 13 years. He can make you a little crazy, just don't worry. And then Alex...
He's like, was I talking to you?
No, but he's trying to... He's trying to save you, you fucking... That's a really good Alex Riley impression.
I know, right?
Sami decides, well, you know, if you want a match or something, like... I need a warm-up before I face Kevin Owens and TakeOver.
Yeah, I don't want to go in cold 3 weeks from now.
And then, Alex tries to look like the big guy and go, well, if he doesn't make the TakeOver, I want Owens. Yeah.
Yeah, that was almost like a threat to Sami Zayn's well-being.
Like he was going to try and hurt Sami Zayn. Good luck. Our first match of the night, we have a non-title match, Cass and Enzo taking on Blake and Murphy. There wasn't a lot in this match.
No, and it's what I've noticed now is becoming the formula of Cass and Enzo tag team matches.
As Enzo gets
beat up, they tag in Cass for the hot tag, and then Cass throws Enzo on the person to win.
Yeah.
So
I'm calling that the Amore missile.
Sure.
It's their finisher. But yeah, Murphy decides to blow kisses at Carmella and gets Cass's boot in his face, and then gets pinned by Enzo. So yeah, they've got some momentum. They're probably going to be getting their tag team title match coming up at NXT Takeover as well. We have an interview with Becky talking about how important it is to her to win her championship match against Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Pretty much saying that, you know, she never started wrestling to be second best.
Or third best. Or fourth best.
Or fourth.
I love Becky Lynch.
He's making fun of his NXT wife.
I know. I love her, though. She's awesome. She talked about a little bit into her history of going and training in Canada and working in Japan, where she was super successful in Japan.
And training at the gym in London.
Yeah, when she was like
15.
Yeah.
Holy
I mean, she
shit.
started like, well, she was a freshman in high school, so.
It's impressive.
Go you, Becky.
Then we have Bailey is trying to do an interview, but she can't keep focused because she can't find her shirt, she can't find her headbands, she's missing everything. And so she walks away from the interview. Then we find out that Emma has stolen all of her stuff.
Yeah, Emma's wearing the shirt and has a handful of headbands.
Yeah, she got like...
She even puts one on Devin.
Yeah. Yeah, so what the hell, Emma?
Emma's just being a little Aussie bitch.
We get a Baron Corbin vignette talking about you can't fight fate and how he enjoys people's pain and being a bad guy. Baron Corbin's being a bad guy. He's being a bad guy. He's being a bad guy.
He's so devastated.
Stop being a bad guy. Him and Alexa Bliss. What the fuck? Everyone's turning heel on me. We have Bayley taking on Dana Brooke. This is Dana Brooke's second aired match. This was better than the last one.
Yeah.
Granted, she
had a lot more variety than her match with Blue Pants.
Yes. Yeah, her and Bayley put on a pretty good match. Bayley ends up getting distracted towards the end because her music starts playing. She's getting ready.
The arm flailing guys go back up.
Like, what the fuck? And then Emma walks out with her headbands and the shirt on, going, "You jump off, jump on her!" And so she does her little like
back elbow thingy,
her spinny back elbow off the second rope, and then Emma is like trying to hand her one of the headbands, and she reaches for it.
And it was like, psych.
And Bayley's like, what the fuck? And then she turns around and she gets the Pimps Up hose down from Dana Brooke. And Dana Brooke wins her second match. And Emma's kind of a bitch. And then we find out there was like a little...
plan.
A little, yeah.
They give one of these on the way by.
Emma.
Then Emma's got this whole little thing where she's like pointing to her head and doing like this.
She's calling Bayley crazy.
Maybe.
It's fucked up. We have William Regal letting us know another match that's going to be happening at NXT Takeover.
Oh my goodness.
A #1 contenders triple threat match where Tyler Breeze...
Was I wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Dude, you want to try it again?
Sure.
Dude, okay. A triple threat #1 contenders match with...
CJ Park.
No. I'll give you one more shot. And go. We have a triple threat #1 contenders match at Takeover featuring
Alex Riley.
No, it's Finn Balor, Tyler Breeze, and Hideo Itami.
God damn it!
You were close. You were so close. You were so close.
You're sure it's not Alex Riley, Mojo Rawley, and CJ Parker?
I'm sure. I'm 100% sure.
All right.
I might have to watch NXT again, but let's just go with it. We can fix it in post. Okay.
All right.
But then, speaking of
post like cereal.
Sure. Speaking of Hideo Itami, he'd be in our next match taking on Adam Rose.
Adam Rose
back on NXT where
he likes making like once every 3 month trips back to NXT for a dabble.
He's taking a little break before he goes on his run with Rosa.
He dabbles in the NXT.
He gets a little bit of offense on Hideo, but not quite enough to do anything because Hideo does pick up the win with his shotgun kick as usual.
Yeah, he spent the last 30 seconds of the match just beating the crap out of Adam Rose.
Yeah, he did.
Like slapping the shit out of him and kicking him, and then the drop kick, and then the big running kick.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, you literally kicked the shit out of Adam Rose. Because I think he probably shot himself.
Yeah, that's weird. We go to the back. Bayley is searching for Emma. No one seems to know where she is.
She's hiding.
But she is going to find her and get her stuff back.
Mysterious powers you get when you come from down under.
You want to talk about your NXT wife in action?
Yeah.
Do it.
Becky Lynch goes one-on-one with enhancement talent Sarah Dobson. And I was a little bit surprised, but pleased at the fact that the local enhancement talent, or whatever they want to call it, when they bring up somebody that's not a part of the main roster, all on Blue Pants, got a lot of offense.
Yes.
Comparatively, that most times when somebody from the not main roster comes up.
Yeah, it's refreshing to see that, you know, these people aren't just crash test dummies. They're actually, like, wrestlers.
Yeah. And they're definitely showing a new side that Becky Lynch is being touted very heavy in the submission aspect.
Yes. Yes.
They talked about the leg submission she showed during the triple threat match, and then she finishes off Sarah with a seated armbar.
Yeah.
Looked pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
But she got the win via submission, which was awesome.
That she did. So
a little momentum.
Yeah, momentum moving on to a title match, which I'm sure is coming very soon. Rhino addresses Baron Corbin's little vignette earlier, letting him know that he enjoys hurting people just as much. And I think Baron Corbin's on that list.
Alright. Random, but sure.
Hey, we saw this match happen live during our WrestleMania weekend, so I'm cool with it. Let's run with it.
That was their test run for this match.
Probably. And then in our main event, we have Sami Zayn taking on Alex Riley. Sami made Alex look good. As good as Alex Riley can look.
Yeah. This is one thing I'm going to give to Alex Riley during the short few matches he's had.
Don't call it short yet. I'm sure this is just starting.
He hasn't totally sandbagged anybody yet.
Yeah, no, I think he's kept up momentum in matches pretty well. He's learned a lot since his previous run, like 2 years ago. But this match doesn't have. Well, I guess it has a definitive winner and a DQ sort of situation because Kevin Owens was sitting at the commentaries table and
making commentaries.
Yes. Yeah. Pretty much just critiquing everything that the other people were saying.
Because, he was getting annoyed that they were all asking him questions about what he thought of Sami Zayn and blah, 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 blah. He's like, hey, there's a match going on. Call the match.
Which is what we say every week about commentary.
Thank you, Kevin Owens, for backing this up.
But he decides to take advantage. We have Sami Zayn dive on Alex Riley. They're both out on the stage, or the rampway.
Sami Zayn looks like he's trying to get back in the ring, and
nope,
says Owens.
Kevin Owens beats the shit out of Sami Zayn, so technically Sami Zayn wins by DQ. And then after he takes out Sami Zayn, the crowd starts chanting "Powerbomb." And
you thought they were.
Yeah, I thought they were asking for him to do it to Sami Zayn. I'm like, what the fuck?
And then I was like, no. They want him to do it to Alex Riley,
which he does, and he gets his apron powerbomb off on Alex Riley,
and then he gets thank you'd for it. He got thanked.
Yes, he does.
Thank you. Special episode we have today.
Thank you. Well, you're doing a great job on this movie wrap-up, Kevin.
I'm totally giving it my Alex Riley.
But that's it for the midweek wrap-up. Lots of stuff added with the King of the Ring tournament. I'm glad to see Bad News Barrett getting the win, even though it would have been cool to see Neville.
Yeah, I was rooting for Neville.
It would have been cool, but hey, I'm okay with King Barrett. Some good stuff this midweek, but that is it for this segment. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, comment what you thought about the King of the Ring tournament, comment what you think about all the matches that we're going to be seeing in a couple weeks at NXT Takeover. Let us know what you think about Lucha Underground. And tell me, was the end of the Stardust and Jack Swagger match really fucking weird? I think it was.
I think you're over-analyzing it.
Maybe I am. But also, be sure to click all the links down in the description. You can follow us on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, emails.
That's a lot of fingers.
Emails.
Emails.
You have an email.
I do.
It's down in the description.
I have like 150 emails that are all spam.
But there's
none from you guys.
Yeah.
Let's make that different.
Yeah.
I want at least one.
Or you can email us all at fanstalkwrestling@gmail.com.
You could possibly get 3 different responses.
What? We can talk to 3 of you. But be sure to check the playlist over there. Go back and watch our Extreme Rules review, our Raw review. You can rewatch the midweek wrap-up if you want. We're going to be having the SmackDown Rundown, Thomas's Top 5, and some indie news coming this weekend. So be sure to look out for those videos. And we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.